The silent echo of social media. Ethan Reynolds had always been fascinated by the digital world. Growing up, he marveled at how social media could turn ordinary people into celebrities overnight. It felt like a universe of endless possibilities, a place where he could be seen and heard by thousands. By his mid-20s, Ethan had carved out his own space in the online world. He ran a successful YouTube channel where he shared lifestyle vlogs, fitness tips, and motivational content. His Instagram boasted carefully curated photos, sunset workouts, candid laughter with friends, and sleek travel shots. His followers admired him. Brands paid him. On the surface, Ethan was thriving. But beneath the facade, something was missing. The pressure to maintain his online persona had turned into a relentless cycle. Every meal was a potential post, every workout an opportunity for engagement. He spent hours editing videos, crafting captions, and ensuring his life appeared effortlessly inspiring. His relationships suffered, conversations with friends revolved around content ideas, and time with family became interruptions to his filming schedule. One evening, while scrolling through his comments section, Ethan came across a message that gave him pause. *, your life looks amazing, but do you ever feel exhausted trying to keep it perfect? *. He stared at the words. No one had asked him that before. That night, Ethan lay awake, reflecting on the person he had become. Had he built an empire or a cage? Was he truly happy, or just addicted to validation? The next day, he made an unusual decision. He went for a walk without his phone. At first, it felt unnatural, as if he were missing a limb. But as he strolled through the park, he noticed things he had long ignored: the crunch of leaves under his shoes, the laughter of children playing, the feeling of fresh air on his skin. For the first time in years, he was simply present. Determined to regain control, Ethan set boundaries. He limited his screen time, stopped obsessing over analytics, and reconnected with old passions: reading, painting, having deep, uninterrupted conversations. It wasn't easy. The urge to share everything still lingered, but he resisted. After weeks of reflection, he posted something different from his usual content. *, I built my life around being online, but somewhere along the way, I forgot to live offline. I'm stepping back, not quitting, just prioritizing what really matters. If you feel trapped by social media, know that you're not alone. Let's find balance together. *. The response was overwhelming. Messages poured in from followers who had felt the same pressure but were afraid to admit it. People thanked him for his honesty, for breaking the illusion of perfection. Ethan didn't disappear from social media completely, but he changed his approach. He posted less frequently, with more authenticity. He prioritized real-life experiences over online engagement. And for the first time in a long time, he felt free, not just from the expectations of others, but from the weight of his own carefully constructed image. Social media had once been his stage, but now, it was simply a tool. And life beyond the screen? That was where true connection existed. The price of going viral. Lena Carter never thought social media would change her life. It started with casual posts, photos of her dog, food snapshots, and occasional travel pictures. But one day, a short video she posted went viral. Overnight, she gained hundreds of thousands of followers, brands reached out with offers, and strangers started recognizing her in public. At first, the attention was exhilarating. She transformed her account into a personal brand, posting regularly, curating her feed, and engaging with fans. Her life seemed perfect: lavish vacations, high-end fashion, exclusive events. Her follower count skyrocketed, and so did the pressure to maintain her image. Every outing became content. Every meal had to be picture perfect. She felt the need to always look flawless, to always be on. But the truth was, behind the glamorous photos, Lena was exhausted. One night, After an influencer event, she scrolled through the endless comments under her latest post. Most were adoring, but some were cruel. She's so fake. She only posts for attention. She used to be relatable, now she's just another sellout. The words stung. She had built this life for herself, yet it felt like she had lost control over it. Seeking comfort, she called her best friend, Alice, someone she had known long before social media took over her life. "I don't know who I am anymore," Lena admitted, her voice shaking. "Everything I do is for strangers on the internet. And no matter what, someone always has something negative to say." Alice sighed. "Lena, you're chasing approval from people who don't really know you. When was the last time you did something just for yourself?" Lena couldn't remember. That night, she did something she never thought she would. She turned off her phone. No checking analytics, no reading comments, no posting. Just silence. The next morning, she took a long walk by the beach, alone, without documenting it. She watched the waves crash against the shore, felt the sand between her toes, and realized how long it had been since she experienced a moment without thinking about how it would look online. Over the next few weeks, she started making changes. She stopped obsessing over numbers. She reconnected with hobbies she once loved: painting, reading, writing. She spent more time with real friends rather than online acquaintances. The pressure eased, and for the first time in years, she felt like herself again. Finally, she addressed her audience with an honest post. "I've spent years living for social media, but somewhere along the way, I lost myself. It's time to change that. I'm not quitting, but I'm stepping back. I want to live more and post less. If you feel the same way, know that it's okay to take a break. The real world is waiting." The response was overwhelming. Thousands of people shared similar struggles, thanking her for her honesty. Lena didn't disappear from social media entirely, but she no longer let it control her. She still posted, but only when she truly wanted to. And more importantly, she learned that real life wasn't measured by likes and shares, it was measured by the moments that didn't need an audience. For the first time in a long time, Lena felt free. Title: The Price of Influence. Ethan had always been fascinated by the world of social media. What started as a hobby, sharing photos of his travels and daily life, soon turned into a full-fledged career. His follower count skyrocketed, brands reached out for sponsorships, and within a few years, he was making more money than he had ever imagined. But with success came an overwhelming pressure to maintain his online persona. Every morning, Ethan meticulously planned his posts. His feed was an aesthetically pleasing mix of luxury, adventure, and motivation. Behind the scenes, however, was a different story. The constant need to be perfect drained him. He spent hours editing photos, rehearsing videos, and thinking about engagement rates. The online world adored him, but in reality, he felt more isolated than ever. One evening, as Ethan scrolled through his notifications, he stumbled upon a comment that struck a nerve: "Do you ever live in the moment, or is everything just for the camera?" He dismissed it at first, but the words lingered in his mind. Did he actually enjoy his experiences, or was he just crafting moments for content? That night, Ethan made a bold decision: he was going to take a break from social media. He didn't announce it, didn't post a dramatic goodbye, he simply logged out. At first, he felt lost. His phone sat idly on his desk, and he found himself instinctively reaching for it, only to remember there was nothing to check. The first few days were tough. His mind raced with questions. Was he missing important collaborations? Would his audience forget about him? The fear of fading into irrelevance loomed over him like a dark cloud. But as the days turned into weeks, something changed. Without the distractions of social media, Ethan rediscovered simple joys. He had real, uninterrupted conversations with friends. He went on hikes without worrying about getting the perfect shot. He cooked meals without thinking about plating them for Instagram. For the first time in years, he felt present. As the month passed, Ethan realized he no longer craved the validation of likes and comments. He had spent so long building an online identity that he had almost forgotten who he was beyond the screen. He picked up old hobbies, started journaling, and even slept better without the late-night doom scrolling. When he finally decided to return to social media, he did so with a new mindset. He unfollowed accounts that made him feel inadequate. He stopped obsessing over numbers. His first post back was a simple one: took a break. Found myself back on my own terms. The response was overwhelming. Many of his followers shared their own struggles with social media burnout. Some admired his decision, others were inspired to do the same. But for the first time, Ethan didn't post for validation, he posted because he wanted to share his truth. From that day on, social media became a tool, not a burden. Ethan no longer lived for the likes. He lived for himself, and that was the greatest success he could have ever achieved. Title: Shadows Behind the Screen. Lena had always been drawn to social media. What started as a simple way to document her life evolved into a thriving career as a content creator. With 1 million followers hanging onto her every post, she crafted a world of luxury, success, and endless adventure. Brands paid her handsomely to promote their products, and her inbox was flooded with collaboration requests. But behind the glossy perfection of her feed, a storm was brewing. Every day felt like a performance. Mornings started with a checklist: choose the perfect outfit, set up the best lighting, and rehearse a flawless delivery for her daily vlog. Even meals were meticulously arranged, cold by the time she finally took a bite. The pressure to maintain an immaculate online presence consumed her thoughts. She was admired by thousands, yet she felt lonelier than ever. One evening, as Lena sat scrolling through comments, a particular message caught her eye: "Is your life as perfect as it looks?" She laughed it off at first, but as she lay awake that night, the question gnawed at her. Was she truly happy? Or had she built a life solely for the screen? The breaking point came when she attended an influencer retreat in Bali. The location was breathtaking: pristine beaches, luxurious villas, and gourmet meals designed for Instagram aesthetics. But the atmosphere was eerily artificial. Every conversation revolved around engagement rates, algorithm changes, and sponsorship deals. No one truly enjoyed the scenery, they were too busy curating content. For the first time, Lena saw the world she had created for what it was: a beautifully packaged illusion. That night, she made a decision. She powered down her phone and stepped outside, walking along the empty shoreline. With no camera capturing the moment, it felt strangely freeing. She allowed herself to simply exist, without the weight of an audience. Returning home, Lena did something unthinkable: she deactivated her social media accounts. At first, she felt an overwhelming sense of panic. Without her platforms, who was she? Would she disappear into obscurity? The thought was terrifying, but as days passed, she realized how much of her identity had been tied to a digital persona. With time, she embraced the stillness. She reconnected with old friends who had drifted away when her influencer lifestyle consumed her. She picked up painting, a hobby she had abandoned years ago. She took long walks without feeling the need to document them. Slowly, she rediscovered herself outside the confines of curated perfection. Months later, Lena returned to social media, but on her own terms. Gone were the staged photos and calculated captions. Instead, she shared unfiltered glimpses of her real life: the messy, imperfect, and beautiful moments. "Stepping away saved me," she wrote in her first post back. "This time, I'm here as myself." The response was overwhelming. Messages poured in from followers who had felt the same pressures, who had questioned their own worth based on an illusion. Lena realized she had a new purpose: not to sell a dream, but to share a reality. For the first time in years, she felt truly seen. And that, she knew, was worth more than any number of likes.